Writing an information paragraph might seem easy, but have you ever written one that just didn't feel right? Maybe the facts were there, but the paragraph felt jumbled, a bit clunky. It didn't flow. That's because the order of your sentences matters. If you don't arrange them properly, your reader will feel like a pinball bouncing around in different directions. In this tutorial, I'll share 4 simple tips to help you structure your paragraphs clearly and logically. By the end, your writing will flow smoothly, be easy to read, and make perfect sense. Let's get started. Saturn. What an incredible planet. I've just done some research and found some fascinating facts. Now, let's put these facts into a paragraph. Saturn has a thick atmosphere and strong winds. Sometimes these winds can reach speeds of over 1,800 kilometers per hour. The planet is the second largest in the solar system and is known for its rings. Scientists have discovered more than 80 moons orbiting Saturn. Saturn is made mostly of hydrogen and helium, which makes it very light for its size. The rings are very large, stretching over 280,000 kilometers wide. Saturn takes a long time to orbit the Sun. 1 year there lasts 29.5 Earth years. The rings are Saturn's most recognizable feature. It spins very quickly though, with a day lasting over 10 hours. Saturn doesn't have a solid surface like Earth, although its rings are made of ice and rock. I've included all the information, but the paragraph doesn't flow very well. Let me show you 4 simple tips that will help fix it. Tip 1. Start with a clear topic sentence. Your first sentence should introduce what the paragraph is all about. Think of it like the picture on the front of a jigsaw puzzle box. Before you look at the pieces, you need to know what the picture is supposed to be. Right now, my paragraph starts too suddenly. Saturn has a thick atmosphere and strong winds. This is not a good topic sentence because it jumps straight into details instead of introducing the paragraph. A better topic sentence would be, Saturn is one of the most fascinating planets in the solar system. Now, the reader knows what to expect. The paragraph will be about why Saturn is so interesting. Tip 2. Don't repeat yourself. There are 2 sentences in my paragraph that repeat the same thing. That Saturn is known for being the planet with the rings. Even though the wording in these 2 sentences is different, I'm saying the same thing twice, so I need to remove one of them. Tip 3. Group similar information together. When you're playing a card game like Uno, it's much easier to see what you've got when you group your cards into colours. You should use the same strategy with your writing. At the moment, look how I jump around in my paragraph. I start by talking about Saturn's winds, then its size and rings, then its moons, then the gas that it's composed of. Back to the rings again, then rotation, then rings again. This jumping around can confuse the reader. Instead of writing about Saturn's rings in different parts of the paragraph, we should group these sentences together. This paragraph is looking better. I've made sure to begin it with a topic sentence. I've made sure not to repeat myself. And I've grouped together sentences about the same thing. But there's still something that's not quite right about it, which leads us onto tip number 4. When writing about someone's life, like a biography of Neil Armstrong, or describing how something has changed over time, such as the history of space exploration, the order is straightforward. You arrange the information in chronological order, meaning events are presented in the order they happened, from first to last. But with many information paragraphs, you are just presenting a series of facts. So how do you decide what order to put them in? A good approach is to go from general information to more specific information. This makes it clearer and easier to follow. Let's pretend we're writing an information paragraph about a cheetah. We'll begin with our topic sentence. Next, we'll add a general sentence about its running speed. Now, we've written a sentence about how it manages to run that fast. We're getting more specific. Finally, we've added a very specific fact about the cheetah's hunting habit. We've gone from general to specific. A good way to think about this is to imagine you are zooming in on a tree with a camera. You begin with a view of the whole tree, then zoom closer to discover the branches, and then finally you reveal the individual leaves. We've gone from a general view to a more specific one. And this is how your paragraphs should be written. Back to our paragraph about Saturn. Let's reorder the paragraph so that it goes from general to specific. We'll begin by writing about the planet's size. Next, its rings. What it's made of, its weather, its moons, and finally, its orbit. Here we go. Saturn is one of the most fascinating planets in the solar system. It is the second largest planet and is famous for its spectacular rings. These rings are very large, stretching over 280,000 kilometers wide, and are made of ice and rock. Unlike Earth, Saturn doesn't have a solid surface. It is made mostly of hydrogen and helium, which makes it very light for its size. It also has a thick atmosphere and strong winds, sometimes reaching speeds of over 1,800 kilometers per hour. Scientists have discovered more than 80 moons orbiting Saturn. The planet takes a long time to orbit the Sun. 1 year there lasts 29.5 Earth years. However, it spins very quickly, with a day lasting just over 10 hours. There we go, that's much better. So how did we transform a clunky paragraph into a clear and well-structured one? By following these 4 simple tips. Tip 1. Start with a clear topic sentence, so the reader knows what to expect. Tip 2. Don't repeat yourself. Say it once and say it well. Tip 3. Group similar information together to keep your paragraph organized. And tip 4, unless you're writing in chronological order, arrange your sentences from general to specific, zooming in on the details. Thanks for watching. If you found this tutorial useful, be sure to take a look at the other tutorials that I have on my YouTube channel. This one, for instance. It will teach you to use sentence connectors to signpost to your reader what's coming up next. This will add more cohesion and flow to your paragraphs. Finally, before you go, please help my channel to grow by liking, subscribing, and sharing.